All right, so we're going to be starting on a project where you're going to be writing 10 EOC style problems, okay? So it's not easy to just come up with them out of your mind most of the time, especially if you want them to be similar to the style that would be written on your Algebra 1 EOC, and you want them to be challenging at the level of an EOC type question. So one way that you can do this is you can look at an old question. So all week last week we did review, and so I did lots of problems. Every assignment you had was just problems that were similar to problems from STAR tests, okay? So let's say I'm wanting to write a problem that has to do with linearity, okay? So I go look at an old problem and I say, okay, here's an old problem that's actually directly off of an old STAR test, or it's very STAR-like. It says a lifeguard earns $320 per week for working 40 hours, plus $12 per week per hour worked over 40 hours. A lifeguard can work a maximum of 60 hours per week. Which graph best represents the lifeguard's weekly earnings in dollars for working 8 hours over 40? So I look and I'm like, okay, I see we're dealing with a y-intercept, you know, a starting point and a rate of change. We're dealing with graphs. So I could use this to kind of spark my brain and make me think of something else. So I want to do something, I know I want to do something where graphs are the answers, okay? So let's say I'm going to do height and time, okay? So I know I'm going to make my word problem about a candle melting. So let's say a candle is 12 inches tall. It sits in a holder or something. Would that be called a candle holder? A holder that is 4 inches tall. The candle burns at a rate of what, maybe 2 inches per hour. I have no idea if that's realistic or not. Kind of, maybe. Depends on how skinny or fat it is, I guess. And what do we want to know? Let's say which graph, and these are the words, which graph best represents, that's just like what the question asked that I was looking at before, best represents, let's say when the candle is completely gone, when the candle is completely melted. Okay, so it starts at 12 inches tall, but it also is sitting in that 4-inch base, right? So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the height of the base. And then 12 more inches is going to take me up to 16 inches, right? So here's the height of the candle. And then here's the height of the base. So from the countertop, or wherever the candle's sitting, the candle's going to start here at 16 inches. And I should have said height in inches. Okay? And then it's burning at a rate of 2 inches per hour. Not hours. Per hour. Okay? So 2 inches, 1 hour. 2 inches, 1 hour. Whoa, that's a little farther. 2, 1. And I would continue going. So I know that my line's going like this, right? But it asks which graph represents when the candle is completely melted. When is it actually completely melted? When it gets all the way down to having only the holder. So this piece of the graph would not be in the answer choice, right? So maybe I make this one of my answer choices because this is not the right answer, because you want to have some distractors in there. So let's say another answer choice would be time and hours and height in inches, and it goes from 16 to 4, and this would be at 6, right? Because 2 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It was 12 inches tall. So this would be your correct answer. Each problem that you write is going to have 4 answer choices. For the sake of time, I won't draw anymore. But keep in mind that whatever answer choices you have, you want to make them things that could be distractors. I mean, someone might go from the 4 up to the 16. That would be wrong, but you want answer choices that would be distractors. So you are going to be writing your own word problems that are very star-like and that are on an Algebra 1 level. You'll be creating your own little star test that's going to be 10 questions long on Monday and Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, a different classmate will answer your questions. And then on Thursday, a different classmate will answer your questions. I'll give you more details next week, but I wanted to let you know what is coming up.